Swanky.
All right, well, we'd like to invite up Mr. Rich Guggenheim, the Colorado leader of the Gays Against Groomers organization. So, welcome up, Rich. Oh, and one quick,
Thanks, Valdemar. Don't go anywhere, Valdemar, because you're part of this whole entire shindig that we got coming up next weekend at the Capitol. I want to share a story with you about a mom in Douglas County who reached out to me. Many of you probably know this mom. Her son came home from school one day and asked, "What does gender fluid mean?" Her son is in middle school. And this mom was rightly alarmed, kept her cool, and wanted to know more. Well, why are you asking this question? And this mom listened to her son tell her about the lesson in social studies that day, where the teacher, who we aren't even sure is licensed to be a teacher in the state of Colorado, started talking about the Mona Lisa and told this class that Leonardo da Vinci was gender fluid. Their evidence was the fact that the Mona Lisa was a self-portrait of Leonardo da Vinci in women's apparel. Colorado in 2019 passed legislation requiring the Department of Education to start teaching gender ideology and queer theory in the first grade. We are teaching children at the age of 6 the demonstrably false narrative that Marsha P. Johnson was a transgender black woman who threw the first brick at Pride, and therefore engages in a homophobic narrative that erases the true history of people like Fred Sargent and appropriates and colonizes gay fight for equality, women's fight for rights, and the people of color's fight for rights. This ideology is homophobic, it is racist, and it is misogynist, and we are teaching it to 6-year-olds in Colorado. We just started a lawsuit against Cherry Creek school districts because they're doing gender transitioning of children behind parents' backs. Parent filed a lawsuit. Parent, Jefferson County Schools filed a lawsuit because their 11-year-old daughter was on an overnight school trip and forced to sleep in the same bed as a biological male who identified as a girl. I have a problem with that, not just for the girl, but what's to stop one of these males from assaulting the boy, or what's to stop a girl from making false accusations against one of the girls? This puts children in harm's way, and that's unacceptable. Poudre School District, all the way down to Alamosa. I was in Alamosa this spring. I don't know how many of you kept up with my gag tour across Colorado. I was in 64 counties in 70 days talking about this. And it's harming our children, and it's stripping parents of their rights. And the blowback against the LGBTQ community is ours to own. And it is up to us to stand up and fight this. Because if we don't, we're going to continue to see this erosion of support for gay and lesbian rights all across Colorado and all across the country. The message is simple. Leave the kids alone. We're fighting pornographic, sexually explicit graphic books in school libraries and school classrooms. And they're telling us, as gay and lesbian people, that we are being homophobic and bigoted and hateful simply for speaking up and having the audacity, the nerve, to say that schools, those books should be educational and age appropriate. So we've got a great lineup of speakers. I want to invite all of you to come. We're partnering with so many organizations. We've got Moms for America, Moms for Liberty, the Dad Army is going to be here. We've got Do No Harm Medicine. We have doctors coming to this to talk about the harms of gender ideology from a medical professional perspective. Partners for Ethical Care, CPAN, Valdemar is part of CPAN. We got the Protect Kids Colorado, We didn't make it onto the ballot this year with our initiatives to protect girls' sports and protect parents' rights, but I guarantee you we are not going to stop fighting. We're going to keep fighting. I'm working with legislators right now to introduce legislation and more ballot initiatives. We're going to keep the fight for protecting girls' sports. We're going to keep up the fight to protect parents' rights. And some of the legislation that I'm working on is to ban drag shows, children at drag shows with purient intent. Because drag isn't for children. No matter how much you try to sanitize it, it's not for children. I'm working on legislation that will extend the statute of limitations for children who are harmed by gender ideology to sue medical practitioners. And I'm working on legislation that will ban teachers from guiding children through this process of gender exploration, as they call it, because it's a form of psychology, not education. And they're not licensed to practice psychology. These are the things that we got to do. We got Aaron for parental rights, Jeffco Kids First. Democrats for an informed approach to gender. This is not partisan. This is common sense. Jen Say, the founder of XXXY Athletics, is going to be here. Jeanette Cooper. I got Representative DeGraff and Representative Bradley speaking. Brandy Bradley is a firebrand right now. If you're not supporting these kind of people in office, you should be. Erin Lee is going to be there to talk about the story of her child being groomed by adults, trusted adults, up in Poudre School District, transitioning her daughter behind her back. Adam Vina is from California. He lost custody of his 3-year-old son because his ex started saying, oh, our son is actually a daughter, and started the process of transitioning. He opposed that, and the state of California said, you're no longer entitled to custody of your son. Michelle, the co-founder and first lady of Gays Against Groomers, is going to be here, so I'm super excited about that. It's also her birthday, so if you come, make sure you shower her with lots of happy birthdays. And then Chance is a detransitioner, female to male detransitioner, here to talk about her personal experiences of the harms of transitioning and why this is not appropriate for children. And of course, I'll be there. I'll be speaking. Valdemar is going to speak. And I hope all of you are there, because one of the reasons I'm doing this, October, as many of you know, is LGBT History Month, 13th one of the year. But it's also right before the ballots go out in the mail. Our ballots go out October 11th. They'll be in your mailbox. And we need people to get out and vote. Vote for the candidates who are going to fight to protect children from this gender ideology and queer theory that is being forced upon them. Vote to protect the parents from a state that is overstepping its statutory authority and stripping these parents of their rights, tearing apart families and tearing apart communities. Vote for the candidates who are going to fight to protect women and girls. You cannot protect what you cannot define. And there is a party out there right now trying to tell us that a woman can be anything you feel like it is. That is wrong. We have to fight for the women in our communities and the girls in our communities. We need people to step up and fight for this, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about their rights, this is about our rights as gays and lesbians. We fought for decades to achieve what we finally had with equality and push back against this narrative that gay and lesbian people were pedophiles and groomers. And now we got drag queens doing the most to show that, in fact, yeah, we are. And we have to push back, and we have to raise our voice, because if we don't, we're going to lose our rights. And we're going to get lumped in with all of that again. So I want to encourage every single one of you to come to our rally next Saturday, 10 a.m. on the west steps of the Capitol. And I will take a few questions for those that want to have questions about this. All right, I like that. You guys are an easy audience. I'm used to lots of questions. Thank you.